The time is now 9 o'clock, and we will call the Public Works Committee meeting to order for April 15th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Chair Childress,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zay,
Here.
Member Desart. Here. Member Galassi.
Here.
Member Garcia.
Here.
Member Ozog.
Here.
Okay. It appears we have a quorum, so we'll move right into, I have no chair remarks. So we'll move right in. There's no public comment. No public comment. And the chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes 2025, 1000.
Second.
Approve the minutes for April 1st, 2025. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll move right into the claims reports. 25-10-01. Chair will entertain a motion for the payment of claims for public works and facilities management.
So moved. Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll move right into bid. Next item up is bid renewals. FMP 1525. Chair will entertain a motion on the recommendation for the approval of a contract to Grout Industries to provide refuse disposal, recycle, asbestos pickup services for DuPage County facilities for facilities management for a period of June 1, 2025 through May 31, 2026 for a contract total amount not to exceed $126,843.06.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, thank you. I understand, thank you, Chair. I understand that sometimes there are things like asphalt or whatever that come from different parts of the county because they go to different functions of the county, but this seemed weird that there are 3 separate contracts for Groot, all for facilities management, and then as long as I have, 7D and 7E, same thing, they're 2 separate contracts for Rowell, and they both go to the wastewater, Woodbridge wastewater, so I'm just wondering why
Yes.
there are so many.
So
What is it?
actually, it's the same bid. So what we've got, the first one is facilities management here on campus. It includes animal services, care center, and in the rest of the buildings. That's for regular garbage, removal here on the campus. And that was bid, if you look at the original one at 22,026, that was the original bid. And then, the next one is an amendment that we added some scope to it. That has to do with the original one. So that's just kind of the new way we're doing bids, and you'll see that in the next one. So that relates to the first one and we added a 2% escalator, which is, I will tell you, very, very low thanks to some of our purchasers because the next lowest bid was 75% higher. So 2% is very good. And then the third one is down for our public works facility, which is a little bit different because we have, if you look on that one, we have different type of waste down there. So that's why it's a different contract down in public works. And that was the reason. They are also obligated for the additional 2%, if I remember correctly. So that will apply to that one as well.
So we can't just have one contract with Groot and just for facilities?
So it's a little bit different down there. So I'm trying to think, was this the original?
One thing to clarify, it is one contract. That's the funding
the
source
original
of how to
bid.
pay for the contract.
The original
So there is,
bid was
there's
one bid.
one contract facilities of which animal services and care pay a little bit. And then public works was different because their backer station is different and unique. They have very unique characteristics that we didn't want to scare off vendors that said, I can't bid on all of it because I can't meet public works needs. So that was kind of why those were separated.
Can we separate it before going out on our own?
And
before?
related to, I'm sorry, Sean, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, we've actually separated from FM before because our profile for garbage is different and we've gone with a different contract. In this case, it happened to be approved for all of us.
Thank you. And just related to that, I'm sorry, just one more thing related to that, Tim. He says asbestos. Do we still have asbestos on the campus? We do.
We have it in this building, and then it's if you have anything below 75, it's very common in either mastic flooring or pipe insulation at various locations. We have it all documented. And When
This
we
is the
do
main
construction, we do test for it. It's a requirement. We do HVAC work, et cetera. We know the unit is say we did, when we did 505. We know that building was 92, it wasn't used then, so we're okay there. But the older spots, we do have to test. Believe it or not, obviously the care center, we got to test for lead paint. Or because of the extreme age.
To your question on the next one, the Rowell Chemical,
Yeah,
that's actually one contract. The first one is actually the renewal for the contract. And then the second part of that is our negotiated, we actually negotiated a cheaper price. Down, it's from 216 per gallon to 210 per gallon. So if that has to do with, that's just the new way we're doing it, for contracts. So
so this is the same contract.
it's the
as
same
well.
contract. It's just whenever we bring a contract for renewal, and you'll see that on all the committees, when we bring a contract for renewal, if the terms are exactly the same as the previous one, you will see one item. If the terms are any different, you will see the difference on there, and that's what you're seeing here is the difference, up or down. Change of scope, anything like that. So you will see what we're changing then from the original bid. And like I said, and you've seen a couple now where the last time it was a decrease, this is a decrease, the group, that's an increase. So you will see either way on that.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Jim.
I don't know if I should ask this in this meeting or the human services, but the GRUD is also showing up in the human services
Mhm.
agenda. Is that all part of the same?
It's all the
contract?
same. If you
Okay.
look on this one, on group, it's, care center has a component of this, 40,800 for the care center. So that's why they have information. It's probably informational on, we're the parent committee for this contract, but the other ones, if they're spending money, it'll be on there for informational.
Okay, has it been properly moved and seconded? Okay, any other further discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item up, FMR 125. Chair will entertain a motion on the amendment of the resolution of FMP 1525 issued to Grout for refuse disposal, recycling, asbestos pickup, and facilities management. Expanding the scope of the services to include an additional location for the health department and increasing the total contract price by 2%. They properly moved and seconded. Did I hear a second?
Second.
They properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Next item up, FWP 725. Chair will entertain a motion on the recommendation for the approval of the contract purchase order to Grout to provide refuse disposal, recycling, asbestos pickup services for DuPage County Public Works Facility for Public Works for a period of June 1, 2025 through May 31st, 2026
So moved.
for a contract total amount not to exceed $80,000. We properly moved to second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Next item up, PWP 1025. The chair will entertain a motion on the recommendation for the approval of a contract to Rowell Chemical Corporation to provide sodium hypochlorite to the Woodridge wastewater treatment facility and the Knollwood wastewater treatment facility for Public Works for a period of April 22nd, 2025 to March 31st, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $150,000. Been moved and seconded.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, is there discussion first?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item up, PWR 325. The chair will entertain a motion on the amendment to resolution PWP 1025 issued to Rowell Chemical Corporation to provide sodium hypochlorite to the Woodridge wastewater treatment facility and the Knollwood wastewater treatment facility for Public Works. The contract rate is decreasing from $2.16 per gallon delivered to
Second.
$2.10 per gallon, resulting in a decrease of 3%. Been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll move right into bid awards. PWP 825. Chair will entertain a motion on the recommendation for the approval of contract to the Chicago Land Paving Contractors for the parking lot rehabilitation at the Nordic Wastewater Treatment Facility / Itasca Softball Field Complex for a period of April 22, 2025 to November 30, 2025, for a total contract amount not to exceed $99,000.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Remember you.
Thank you. I just had a quick question. So I remember we went to this Nordic wastewater treatment plant ribbon cutting ceremony, and it was because the county had provided some financial support at that time. And I'm just wondering, is this part of that same financial support, or is this an additional financial support?
Good memory on this one. So this is a component of our Nordic wastewater treatment plant rebuild. You were all up there for the ribbon cutting. The plant is working great. This is a final piece of that project. When we were you think rebuilding a plant, we completely destroyed the asphalt going in there. And that's owned by the Itasca Park District. And so this is the final piece of that. We just couldn't, timing wise, we couldn't do it with asphalt plants last year. So this is what we're doing. We actually partnered, if you look at the bid award, I think it was 180,000. So the Park District, we teamed up, we're responsible for our area that we destroyed going in. And they want to go ahead and do the rest of it, so they're paying for the rest of it. And I will tell you, this price is it's far less than what our original estimate was, so this is a very good price, but this is a final piece of that Nordic treatment plant rebuild.
Thank you.
When goes on.
And is this a full reconstruction and everything?
It pulled up.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? We properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up on the bid award. FMP 1925. The chair will entertain a motion for the recommendation for the approval of a contract to Enterwise Global
So moved.
Technology.
Second.
For participation in the demand response program for a period of June 1, 2025 through May 31, 2026, for a contract amount and the approximate contract cost of approximately $452,048.52. Member Garcia.
All good, it's early. Can I just get a little explanation? I read in this and I still want a little more explanation what the demand response
Yeah.
program is.
Go ahead.
So actually, this is, I think the member Zay might be the only one here when we built the original backup generator facility here on our campus. This was-
In the 50s?
Cold fed. Cold fed.
Yeah.
Wood fed.
So we built it because we had power bumps in here, we had power outages, and it served us well, and it was an expensive project. I think it was even before 10-year time, but I think it was right around $10 million, which that was a massive amount of money when we built it. And it served us very well. The purpose of it is to the power outages, being able to get through that, and we've used it many, many times. This is a added benefit of that we didn't anticipate original. And what it is we enter into a program with ComEd. And when they have kind of a, high load day, or they, potential brownouts, they call on big customers to reduce load. And so what we do, we're able to use our backup generators to almost entirely reduce the load of our campus. And so because we're in that program, they pay us. And it changes every year how much they pay us. And like I said, the goal of the project was to handle the outages here on campus. This is strictly a bonus for it so far. And we started going into the demand response program in 2016. And we have made so far to date over $1 million. And this is by far the largest amount they paid. The number changes every year. ComEd sets it. And I'll tell you, in all the years we've been doing it, I don't think they called an actual once. They've called one. All it is a test once a year. a load shed test that they say, okay, now from 8 to 12, let's see where you can get, and then they pay you on that test date. And then there's been one date since we've been in it in 8 years or 9 years that we actually had to do it. And then they pay you again for that if they call it. But we'll be with a $10 million investment, we'll have, with this one, we will have recovered about 15% of the cost of that project just with this program. And it wasn't intended for this program. This is just an added benefit.
Happy
Thank you
accident.
so much.
I love that.
Tim, is there anything that I'm?
Just, it's an RFP, so we don't have the ability to do this ourselves. We need a consultant to help us. So that's why there's an RFP. There's a third party vendor that does the paperwork for us. They take care of the reporting. There's a variety of pieces that go in this. It's really a challenge to do internally.
And every time that because it's a little bit that we have to tell them what we think we're gonna shed. And then the test then verifies we shed it. Every time we've done it, we've always exceeded what so it's worked out well.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, and we want to thank member Zay for being around that long.
We didn't even have lights on the
Candles.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, professional services. We move on to FMP 2025. Chair will entertain a motion on the recommendation for the
So moved.
approval of contract to Desmond Inc. to provide phase 2 professional, architecture. That's what it was good. And engineering design to, complete a repair, maintenance, long-term capital improvement and assess management goals for the 479 and the 509 parking decks for the campus facilities for a period of April 22, 2025 through November 30, 2029, for a total contract to not to exceed $364,010.
If I could give.
So moved.
update.
Second.
So this is, if you remember, obviously, these are our 2 parking decks. This is one of our biggest capital needs on the county. The board has been very good with trying to funnel money toward this to take care of it. And we have several million in the bank that we're gonna start going toward repairing some of the bigger parts of it. We're still in need of money on this one, but the nice thing is we can focus on some of the bigger ticket. And every year we seem to, if funds allow, then we grab some more money, but this is our biggest capital need still on the campus.
Been properly moved in second. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That takes us into professional service agreement, FMP 2025. Chair will entertain a motion on the recommendation for the approval of contract assessment. Right, good one.
Good.
I think you repeated
We're
the same
good
one.
that we're repeating this one. So you already did this one.
Yeah, we're on number 10.
Okay, oh, you're right. Sorry about that. Joint purchasing agreement. FMP 925. Chair will entertain a motion on the recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Federal Signal Corporation doing business as Standard Equipment Company for a Vector 2100 plus combination sewer cleaner for Public Works and Stormwater for a period of April 22, 2025 to April 21, 2026 for a contract total amount not to exceed $705,000 and $577 dollars. Has been moved and second. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up is GPN 251052. Chair will entertain a motion on GPN 1225, Power Safe Communities Grant, Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, $10,000.
Second.
Properly moved, seconded, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up is old business, and I will go to Jeff for a update on the Heritage Gallery.
Morning. Just a few updates for the Heritage Gallery project. Last week we sent out emails to county museums, colleges and universities, letting them know that when we do, take down the existing Heritage Gallery, we plan to provide the artifacts as short or long-term loans to anybody who would be interested in showing them off at their place. I've got a couple inquiries back. We also offer the display shelving itself, if any museums have any use for display cases, that sort of thing. As I get requests, I'm tracking it all. If they have dates in mind, I'm kind of doing a first come, first served basis right now. We'll have it all noted, and then whenever we do store it all away, we'll make sure we have it organized to get it out to whoever likes it. And it's been encouraging so far. Some people have emailed back with more contacts, and as I get more contacts, I send it out more and more. So I think we have a pretty good list. That was assembled by the Wheaton Park District staff at the Historical Museum downtown, and then some of our staff got the college university contacts together. I also had Emily O'Brien, who's the curator at the museum downtown, come out and walk the gallery. She had suggestions for acid-free boxes, acid-free paper, how we would want to plastic and shrink wrap the larger items to protect them when we do take it down. Nothing too complicated. I think as long as we track and label our boxes well, it's going to be pretty easy to put into storage and have them available for loan, unless we do figure out the provenance. If we do figure out who lent us what and they request to have it back and we have kind of proof of that initial loan, we can also return items. We've done that before as well. Yes.
Did our own museum want it? The one that we own?
So they.
I know they run it, but
Right, so all the artifacts that they have are county artifacts. They are stuffed to the gills right now, both in the museum building itself downtown, and I think they do have an off-site storage spot as well with larger items in it. When I've asked Michelle, she said it would be much easier if we can keep it here for now, and then they have a list of, I want to say 40,000 items already. So at this time, we're thinking it would just be here to simplify the process. And, we're not concerned about, lower level, the humidity's fine, temperature's fine, it's all controlled down there. We're not worried about any sort of moisture issues, that sort of thing.
And Member Deshart?
Thank you. I just had a
Yes.
quick question. When our group was doing research on this over at Wheaton College and a couple of the museums, what we were looking for was a list of everything that was in the museum and who donated it to us. So my question is, we could not find that list.
Right.
Does Public Works have a list like that so that we know if things are actually museum quality items or things like that typewriter? Is the typewriter really
So,
special, or is it just an old typewriter?
right, in 2017, actually, I went through the gallery, I took a picture of everything. I did as best as I could just online on eBay, looking for items, and I actually distributed that PDF with this email last week. So with that email, I sent a list of all the items we have on display. So like that typewriter, I found a model that looks a lot like it. So I said matches, whatever the brand is, my best guess. We've never had professionals go out and,
Yeah.
we don't have a master list that we inherited. So we're
I mean,
kind
I'm
of.
just wondering if like that typewriter.
Right.
Was it the typewriter of the woman who wrote The King and I? That would be pretty cool. Or was
Yeah.
it just a typewriter.
And that's what we don't have, is we
Yeah.
don't have the provenance of anything in there.
So hearing that you went through the actual archive of this exhibit, and if it wasn't there, I'm not sure,
Yes,
this was all pre-email days, so we don't have any sort of like email archive to search, and as far as I know, we don't have any hard
And
copies downstairs.
And keep in mind, the county, we didn't put those artifacts in there. That was a third-party group, so we wouldn't have any of that provenance where they got it from. It would be residing with the third-party group, but it's my understanding that
Pretty much died.
there's nobody left in the third-party
There's
group.
one left, and I worked with his son closely in the mid-teens
Okay.
to ultimately dissolve the Heritage Gallery Foundation.
Oh,
And Mr. Hack, I remember, nice man, his father was still alive, but there was nothing. Based on those discussions we had back 10 years ago now.
And just
I know it would be a fun list to have.
Yeah.
And just one more thing, the only thing I think we've mentioned before, the barbed wire that's down there. We do have documentation that that's from the Museum of Science and Industry downtown Chicago. So I will be reaching out to them and saying, you want these, you want these 4 pieces, or do you want us to hang on to it? I mean, we do have an actual loan agreement with them, from the 80s, I believe. So I'll let you know how that turns out, but.
We'll take member Ozark.
Did you check the typewriter for fingerprints?
Yeah, right, yeah. Maybe when we box it up, if.
They'll be Jeff's.
I mean, we may get lucky, maybe when we're boxing up, there may be labels on the bottom of these things, we've never actually, but all the places, or all the cases are screwed together, so we've never wanted to take it apart, put it all back together, but yeah, if we uncover anything else, we'll try to
You're
track
kind
it.
of doing Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
All right, and then finally, we did receive the survey summaries from Taylor Studios. There were hard copies set out and about. We had 177 respondents, which Taylor thought was pretty healthy. The museum's doing a similar project right now. Also, I think they got 30 responses back during their survey period. So I think the community, we really got the word out. Thanks again to County Communications for getting that out. Taylor gave me some basic pie charts. I wanted to add in kind of like the number of responses per multiple choices for a little extra data there. All the text is from the free form sections of the survey. Some people put one-word answers, other people did mini essays, and so you'll kind of see there's a lot to read through. So there's a little bit of homework for you guys, and then we'll cover this in deeper depth in a future committee meeting. If there's any other topics, people, ideas that you really think stand out, we can definitely incorporate that moving forward. Do you have any other questions? Let me know.
Looking at this, it's safe to say that the positives outweigh the negatives on just about every question, right?
I was surprised. I mean, I wouldn't say it's weighted heavily in one direction or another, but it is more green than red when you color code at the end of the day. I mean, there was a lot of neutral, there were a lot of people kind of hedging their bets too, but I thought it was encouraging. I mean, I think you'll see in the responses, there were some people that were fixated on certain topics, and that may have also affected others, but you know, I think it's valuable feedback overall. Thanks.
Okay. Any other old business? Any new business? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Probably move.
Second.
Seconded. Without objection, we are adjourned.